Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach, and it's going to be the pre-lockout discussion for round. We're up to round 7. We're up to round 7 already, boys. It flies by too quickly. NRL, the NRL season goes by too damn quick. But we're up to round 7, and yeah, we'll just go through. I'll go through my potential options. I've already made my trades in the last video, but I guess there are a couple of other options to consider, and also we'll go through, I'll talk about some of the break-evens of some of the, guys sort of at their peaks. I guess we'll talk about the team list as well, because there's one guy here, Josh Schuster, has not been named again. Now, there is a part of me that there's a part of me that's like, do I actually bring in Schuster this week? I still think it's the right decision. Like, Hopgood's got to go. I feel like, I talked about this previously, that if Hopgood was a front row forward duel, then I could definitely, I would probably keep Hopgood. I would probably just keep Hopgood, plug him into the front row forward, and it'd be perfect. But in the back row, I think the minutes are going to be capped now. He does have some decent upside, but it's just not going to be what other back rowers can be. It frees up a lot of cash. I still think when Schuster comes back, he could go well. He is missing out. He missed out on Penrith and Storm, so it's, he's missing out on a couple of the bad games. Like, the report, I gotta be honest, it's one of the more annoying things about NRL, and I'm sure other sports in general do this as well, but like, teams not really divulging what the injury is, because the rumor was that it was just a cork in his quad, and that was a rumor from his brother on Twitter. His brother on Twitter said it, so I doubt he was lying, but that's probably what they told. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but what's this now? His third game he's going to miss with a fucking cork? There's no way. There's got to be some other niggling injury that they're monitoring, right? You would hope so. If he was actually missing 3 games because of a goddamn cork, then he's got to be the softest player of all time. But yeah, there's got to be another injury there. It'd just be nice if NRL clubs could just say what the injury is and be done with it, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I still think it's the right decision, though, because I'll quickly. Yeah, we'll do this now. Actually, before we go into it, I will talk about the break evens for some of the bigger players. So, center wing, Warbrick. I had a quick look before at a few plays. Warbrick's break even, annoyingly. His break even is 48. I think his was the worst out of like most of the cheapy guys that are sort of starting to hit their ceiling. His was 48, which they're taking on Manly, who have not been a defensive powerhouse. So Warbrick definitely, he has a potential. If he just scores a try, he's going to hit his break even, make a little bit more cash. But we can just see with Warbrick, he's a strong ball carrier, but he's just not getting the football. Like, he just can't get the footy, man. He's got such low scores. 30. He actually started like solid, like 30, 36. We were like, okay, he's gonna be a good base stat player, and then with the upside, then he goes 14, and then he went a couple of big ones, 88, 58, and then back to 16. So I think Warbrick potentially is the best. Well, he's probably the guy you need to get rid of first, I would say. Now, obviously, after I go through this, we'll have a look at the cheapy options. Now, there's not a whole lot, which is sort of the dilemma a lot of people are going to face, is that a lot of these guys in the back row as well, potentially, like Cartwright, I'm happy to. I feel like I'm going to keep Cartwright till the buys, honestly, and play him over those, unless for whatever reason he goes back to the bench. I feel like he could be a hold for a fair while. But, other guys, like even Ford to an extent, A lot of these guys are sort of hitting their ceilings, and it's like you either move them on to another cash cow that's going to bank you cash and then make more money on top of that, or you try to move them on to a potential keeper. Usually you have to downgrade one and then upgrade another, but it's a bit tricky at the moment because there's not any real guaranteed cheapies coming forward. The only one is probably Jared Croker, but we'll have another look at that in a second. Connolly Lemuelu, his break even was about 50, I think, which is fine. The good thing about Lemuelu is that I don't see him getting much more than 450. I would love it if he scored a try, got 80 points, and then went up to about 500k. But I can see Lemuelu sitting around that 420 to 450 mark. He might go up a little bit, he might come down a little bit more. But he's playing in the back row. He's got the base stats, obviously, so he's not as pressing to move on. But I still think he is going to be move-out option. Depending on what happens with Kafusi coming back as well, because that was sort of the plan, play him for these weeks. Kafusi potentially would take the minutes off him, but we don't really know. The Dolphins, yeah, I'm not really too sure. He's looked damn good. I got to be honest, he's looked really good. I just, a few more attacking points would be nice. Khan Pereira, so I know a lot of people were probably thinking, okay, it's time to get rid of Khan Pereira. He only scored 16. Don't unless you have to, but his break even is only 5 this week, so there's literally no reason to get rid of Khan Pereira this week unless, I don't know, for whatever reason you have to, but I don't really understand why you would have to, because surely you've got like a Warbrick, Alamotti, even Taruva to an extent. Like Khan Pereira still has quite a bit of cash to make because of those back-to-back hundreds. So yeah, see how he goes this week. If he jags another attacking stat. I mean, he's a guy that he can just go on a bit of a run, so I wouldn't be selling him. Katoa, I don't know. His break-even's probably around that 30, 35 or whatever. I didn't really look at him. I'll look at Taruva, actually. I'm assuming his will be around 40. I think. I don't know, it's only break even only 20 for Taruva. Alright, we're back. A little bit of a lag there. A little bit of a hiccup on the site. But we're back. What was I talking about? Taruva. So Taruva, yeah, did I say it? I might have cut it out. But Taruva scored, his break even is 20. So Taruva seemed like such a safe hold for like the long term. The only problem is that his upside is probably a bit minimal because of fucking Isaac Tungo, who cannot pass the football. So Taruva's base stats are sensational. They're Brian Toto-esque base stats, but he's not getting those attacking ups. Like last week where he scored 2 tries, they were both off kicks. He didn't get a line break. And because the Panthers flogged the Raiders, he didn't get like his usual 20 runs a game. So that's why his score was lower last week. But comes out, scores 44. I think that was pretty much all on base again. So Taruva, no urgency to really move him on. And then, yeah, Cartwright, he's bound to make a little bit more cash. Like I said, though, I feel like he's a guy that can just sort of hold there. Like, he's going to play the bye rounds. He looks, honestly, Cartwright, I've never been a fan, but he's looking damn good on the edge for the Eels. Like, defensively, he's pretty strong, and he's always a threat in attack. I would love for some of his tries to be a line break and a tackle bust and a try. All these tries, I think, have been off damn kicks, but you can't complain. It's 17 points for a try like that. I'll take it any day of the week. But I would love a line break and a try to get like 80 points, but it is what it is. He's doing a fantastic job, and as long as he keeps that edge spot, and I don't really, I can't really see them dropping him, honestly. I mean, Sean Lane came straight back onto the left. He went outside of Mitchell Moses, which I liked him outside of Dylan Brown, but honestly, on that right edge with Moses, that's pretty tempting as well. Like, Moses he's just getting his hands on the footy a lot. So Cartwright looking good. Tanner Boyd, he's due to make some more cash now. And then, yeah, that's pretty much... Yeah, all the break-evens are still pretty doable. Like I said, the only guy at Warbrick... And like I said, it's annoying with him because he's not even at 400k yet. I mean, he's made good cash, don't get me wrong, but if he if he scores low again and starts leaking, it's gonna be annoying. But he's probably the guy, depending how he goes this week, he's probably... I mean, if you've got, like, for me personally, I could go early on, like, a Croker, go from Warbrick to Croker instead of going Hopgood to Schuster, but I don't think that would leave me enough coin for Dylan Brown, who I do like. I mean, Dylan Brown, his break even is, I think, 100. It's over 100 still, so Dylan Brown isn't a must-have this week, but I still... He's starting... I don't know, just Sean Lane coming back. He had that week. He scored 60 doing basically nothing. He had a couple of offloads, couple of tackle breaks, this and that, and a lot of tackles, but he didn't really do much. Sean Lane is going to open him up so well. I can just see the pass to Lane getting the big right arm free, Dylan Brown backing up. It's going to be some points to be had. And yeah, they just got a good draw coming up, and they cover all the buys. I just think Brown's just such a good purchase. And I mean, I'm bringing in Brown, Hines, and obviously Schuster isn't a great buy, but I'm bringing in Brown and Hines this week. It's a pretty good swing for me, all things considered. Obviously, the big news with team list is that, well, unfortunately, Gerald Skelton wasn't named on the wing in place of Addo-Carr. There was obviously a little bit of talk that... Well, not a little bit of talk. There was potential that he could. I mean, he looks like an absolute monster, but he didn't get the spot. Obviously, terrible news coming out that fucking Kickout has done his pec at training. What about that, dude? That is crazy. Literally, he got concussed. He missed 2 games with concussion from training, and then his game he was due to come back, he does his pec in training. That's diabolical luck there. That is disgusting. But yeah, terrible news there. That I don't think it affects. Yeah, it doesn't really affect too much in terms of Supercoach because he hadn't played the last couple of weeks anyway. I guess it means Preston keeps that left edge spot. If Kickout came back, I would imagine Preston would have gone to the right, but probably doesn't matter too much. It probably does help Preston being outside of Burden rather than Flanagan, but you know, it is what it is. But let's have a quick look. We'll have a look at cheapies coming through because, like I said, there's not many. You know what, let's actually go through... Let's go through every position briefly. I just want to have a look. These are not cheapies for fullbacks, but I actually want to see... like, who is doing the best. So, fullbacks, Jermaine Asako. Oh, my word. Jermaine Asako fucking killing it. He's averaging 84.5. Oh, my word. Lockie Miller, second, averaging 80. Reece Walsh obviously missed a game, so his average is 93.8. Absolutely on fire. Latrell Mitchell came back with a bang last week, so I think a lot of people, well, I don't know. I feel like some people are going to bring him in. I mean, Tom Trebojevic was named. Obviously, there was a bit of doubt about his fitness, but the fact he's named, honestly, he's in. Nick Meaney there. Nick Meaney's actually out. That's right. Nick Meaney's out, and Cameron Munster is going to fullback and will probably goal kick, even though he's a bit... he's very all over the place, Cameron Munster, but... don't get me wrong, I would love to bring in Munster, but he is like almost... He's like 150k more than Dylan Brown. Yeah, I can't do it this week, and I feel like if you could do it, it would be nice, but I still like Dylan Brown for the long term. Munster, he's going to miss a lot of games coming up, so yeah, I'm happy with that. Fido, killing it. Clint Gutherson. He always flies under the radar, Clint. He's actually been a little bit under... Like, you can see he's gone down 70k. He's always a guy that's like that... There's always, like, the top 3 fullbacks. Usually, well, depending who's out and who's injured. Usually Tedesco, Tedesco's usually top just because of his fitness. Like, he just always plays nowadays. And then depending, like, Papenhuyzen and Trebojevic, and like Mitchell has come up lately in the last couple of years. So it's usually those 4 big guns. Obviously this year it's a bit different. I mean, Reece Walsh has come in, Lockie Miller, but Clint Gutherson, he was always like that 4th, 5th guy that you couldn't really ever justify. But I gotta be honest, I'm not that opposed to bringing in Gutherson soon. So my plan, like I said originally, after Walsh, like, Walsh has one good game this week. I forget who they're playing, but he's got a good game this week. And then it's a pretty tough draw for the Broncos. My plan originally was going to Ruben Garrick. I still could, but Ruben Garrick's going to have a really high break even. He coming back from concussion. I mean, I think they do take on Tigers, so I still think Garrick is, even with that 8, and he's going to lose money. They take on the Tigers. Him and Trebojevic could be juicy. But Clint Gutherson, he'll cover the buys. And again, like Dylan Brown, they've got a good run coming up. So 2.2%, if he can... I don't hate it. I actually don't hate potentially getting Gutherson from Reece Walsh. But, I mean, again, like Reece Walsh, it's just... If Reece Walsh comes out this weekend, like, who are they versing? Gold Coast. Yeah, Gold Coast. It's a pretty... Should be a high-scoring game. But then, yeah, it's Parramatta, South, Manly, Melbourne, Penrith. It's a tough one. So I'm not... I don't know. But if he comes out again and goes like 80 plus, like, how do you get rid of him like that? It's insane. But yeah, Will Kennedy... I mean, again, Kennedy... Targeting Sharks players after their bye. Nico Hines back. They're definitely a point-scoring team. Kennedy, bit of a pod. Ruben Garrick, like I said, I would love to bring him in for that game against the Tigers, even though he's going to lose money. He might not. Like, I think he'll have a high break even, but he definitely could hit it. Hayes Perham, a popular cheapie. So he's gone up decent. He actually only scored 20 there. Chansey, fucking Chans, dude. Oh, man. I say... I'm disappointed, but also happy. Like, I was so high on Chansey at the start of the year. That concussion, though, I got rid of him for Jacob Kiraz. And now Kiraz has killed it. And I'm very happy with the Kiraz pickup. But Klokstad has been on fire. He's been on fire. So I would have loved to have kept Klokstad, but it just, at the time, and I mean, not at the time, just the whole thing, it made more sense to get Kiraz in that moment. But yeah, if for whatever reason you held Klokstad, I mean, a lot of people would have held. I mean, he's still 29% owned, so they're loving life at the moment. Charlie Staines. Honestly, Charlie Staines, centre wing fullback, he looked pretty good. Like, he actually looked pretty good, dude. He actually looked pretty good. Jaden Campbell, 98. But yeah, there's some fullback options. Let's get into the actual crux of this. We won't go through it. I know I said I'll go through every position. I'm not going to do that. It's going to take too long. But let's look at some cheapy options. So, Gerald Skelton, no, did not get picked up, unfortunately. Bostock dropped. Valence Tavade, still not named. I think he was in the extended squad, so, you know, maybe he's getting close to a potential debut, but not yet. Howarth, just never going to get a game. Fa'alongo, man, he looks so good in the trials. I would have loved to have seen him at fullback at some stage, but he's done a good job, so it makes sense not to. Who else? Is there any genuine cheapies that are options? So there is one. So Taya Piki, he's getting a bench spot again this week, I think, which is strange, but yeah, he's obviously not playing big minutes from the bench. He looked good at fullback, I got to be honest, when he replaced Klokstad, but yeah, obviously you're not going to go him. So Elliott has been on the wing for the Cowboys, but No. So Hayes Dunster was a guy that was potential, but even if he scored well this week or last week, Bailey Simonson is just out with suspension. So Simonson will I'd be surprised if Simonson didn't come straight back into the team when he was done with suspension. Hayes Dunster, I gotta be honest, didn't look very good. So, I mean, if he absolutely killed it, then okay, maybe he would have held the spot over Simonson. But the fact he didn't look good, and Simonson was the original number one guy there anyway. I'd be shocked if Dunster kept his spot anyway. So I wouldn't. Definitely don't jump on Dunster, in my opinion. So Heimel Hunt. No. I was going to say, it looks like Marju and Dominic Young have sort of locked those spots in. Obviously, Young was dropped a couple of weeks ago. Marju was injured. So it seems like, let's be real, Marju and Young are probably their two best wingers. I do like Heimel Hunt, but it does make more sense not to go them. Mo Zembai, 33. I don't even know where is he playing dummy half? He's playing dummy half. Wait, what the hell? Why is he... Oh my god, that's why. I've got fullbacks as well. I was like, why the hell is... I was like, does he have three positions? But that's fine. Did I say some fullbacks? Dude, who the hell knows? So Robert Jennings, I think he got named. He got named this week in place of Edric Lee. I don't know, did Lee get injured again? I'm not even too sure what happened there, but Robert Jennings is back on the wing. He was honestly, he's always been he was a good he was a good point scorer at Rabbitohs when he was just on the left-hand side getting all the tries like Johnson did. But yeah, he's a guy to keep an eye on, potentially downgrade option if he plays well. Tom Eisenhuth. So Tommy Eisenhuth, actually, he's dual centre wing in 2RF. His minutes have been pretty limited, but he's got a good work rate. He can play bigger minutes if there's an injury. I don't know. I mean, his price, it won't go up a hell of a lot because this will be his third game this week. So I don't think you don't have to jump on him this week, but honestly, if you did need to downgrade one of those centre wings, Eisenhuth, he's going to be a safe 30-40 point guy. It's not the worst. And it does have some 2RF centre wing duels, so that is very handy. Jared Croker, a lot of people are going to be bringing Jared Croker next week, I think, and I think I'm going to be one of them because, again, he's not going to be that 60-plus average guy, but if he gets 40 points, then he's going to be a great downgrade. He's going to make cash in the process. So, yeah, that will be very handy. Remus Smith, he was a popular cheapie. He's probably the one guy is that sort of cheapie range that really didn't do much. Tommy Talau as well, I guess. Obviously, he suffered that injury, so a bit harsh on him, but I think that's pretty much it. Wanga, so I actually thought maybe Wanga Blake might come in on the wing, and if he did, he would have been a sensational pickup, I thought. At 350k, he's been terrible in the centres, but on the wing, in that Eels side, there could be some points on offer, and I think he is just he obviously is shocking under the high ball, but I do think he is a better winger than a centre, so I don't know. I just don't really like Wanga Blake. I think he's pretty god-awful, but I think there would have been some tries for him. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Sean Russell, he got 42. He's 360k, though, so I don't know. Paul Alamotti, so he actually, he did drop cash. So I'm pretty happy I did trade him off for Lemuelu a couple of weeks ago. Stuff with Toa looked pretty good. Where is, actually, where the hell is... Oh, so Junior Tupou, oh, man... Yeah, he's already had a huge... Man, he could have been... Damn, he's 430k. Oh, man. he looked really, really good in that game. He obviously had a couple of errors in him, but geez, he looked good. Just tackle breaking, line breaks. What did he do? Yeah, he played 80. So he's played 3, 4, 5, 6. 39, 45, 40. Man. I guess he started at an awkward price as well. He started at 330k. He wouldn't have been on the radar at all, really, because you didn't really know what was happening at the Tigers. But he's going to be one of these guys that just gets away, unfortunately, because he looks genuinely good, like a really solid wing option. Just, I don't know if the tries will be there, but the tackle breaking and the runs will be there. So, yeah, unfortunately, he's just an awkward price now. And with that 100, well, I guess they got the bye this week, so I don't know. Maybe, I guess you could pick him up next week, but he's probably made a bit too much money for that, I feel. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Any other positions we want to look at? Honestly, not really. I mean, front row, there's still nothing. Is there any cheapies in 2RF? Get rid of the goddamn center wings, because 2RF is, if you got a few of those guys hitting their ceiling, you might want to downgrade, but I don't think there's too much on offer. Curtis Morin, he's honestly looked pretty good. I don't think his minutes have really been there, though, unfortunately. Yeah, what's he played? 30 minutes each, about that 30 average. Yeah, I mean, again, it's annoying. If he was a front row forward, like, I would be, like, somewhat tempted. But 2RF, it's a bit of a stinker. Just not getting the minutes, unfortunately. Keenan Palacia, yeah, he's not going to get more minutes there at the Bronx. Toby Couchman. So, I know I looked at him the last video, because he played 50. I mean, 42 minutes, 28. I think that's a bit of an anomaly, the 28 points there for the 42 minutes, because he does look like a worker. I think he's around that 1 ppm type guy. So if he plays 50 minutes, gets 50 points at 260k, not the worst, but I just wouldn't be. I don't know the minutes there. Like Jack DeBellin, you would expect to get the starting spot pretty soon. Pushing Jack Bird potentially to the edge, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Murdoch Masilla came back with a big 27. There's Tommy Eisenhuth again. If you wanted to pick him up as 2RF, I don't hate it. Don't hate it. Don't love it. Ray Stone, I think he was named at front row, like he's starting front row. I don't know. I don't know about that one, but I wouldn't be picking him up. I can't see the big minutes from him. Jack Johns. Yeah. I mean, there's just. So Sean Bloor probably people probably picked him up last week because he got a decent score, but yeah, 25 points. Not great. Jacob Host. 330k. Unfortunately, he's going to go up, so this is probably the week to get him if you're going to. But he's coming back from injury. Yeah, I mean, coming back from injury, he obviously played reduced minutes these two games. He played 74 minutes. I don't know. He is an edge player, obviously. Was he just going to get into an 80-minute role on the edge? I mean, if he was, like, I wouldn't hate the downgrade option, but yeah, I don't know. He's honestly a decent player, Jacob Host. So I wouldn't be opposed to that. Again, I can't really bring him in because he's just going to go up too much next week, so it's going to be a bit awkward. Anyone else? So yeah, and then we get into the 400k, which it's not going to make you any real money. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Egan Butcher, you got 59. What a stinker to start, dude. What an absolute stinker. Cam McInnes. So the fact that Dale Finucane is out. Cam McInnes could be a potential option, but yeah, I don't know. I think Cam McInnes' days on Supercoach are a bit done. Corey Horsburgh, he's playing big minutes at lock. It's got to be said. He's front row, actually. He played 71 minutes. But then he's only... Yeah, I wouldn't go Horsburgh, honestly. I mean, his minutes 41, 31, 49, 36, 31, 71. Yeah, I couldn't go Corey Horsburgh. I mean, you got 40, 52, 95. Everyone would have been jumping on 33, 24. So, yeah, no. But that's pretty much it. There's not too much else to discuss. I'll go through captaincy, vice captaincy quickly. So at the moment, I don't think I changed. Yeah, let's have a quick look. So the big boys, Trebojevic, they're taking on Storm. Oh, and that's yeah. You know what? I mean, that's a really nice vice captaincy option. Storm, obviously. They are a good side, but they have been leaky. And 4 Pines Park, like, it's just... Trebojevic gets up for those ones, you know. Broncos are taking on Gold Coast. So, I mean, Reece Walsh... It's too late, unfortunately. So, you can't vice captain him. And then, I mean, I guess you captain, like, Dylan Brown. But I think Trebojevic is the better option. Just because it's earlier in the week as well. I guess Nico Hines... So this is where it gets tricky, right? Because you got Hines and Cleary. So you've sort of always got to work out which one of these two has the better matchup. And, I mean... Yeah, I think this is pretty simple. Like, I mean, Newcastle have been good. But you got to put the C on Cleary, don't you? Like, there's just no better matchup there, really. I mean, if you had... I mean, again, Reece Walsh against Gold Coast, that is a really nice matchup, but no, you got to play it safe. I mean, Hines taking on Roosters. Roosters, again, have been pretty up and down, but the Sharks from last year were definitely worse against better teams. So, yeah, I think Tom Trebojevic vice, Cleary captain. It's a pretty simple week, honestly. I think it's a pretty simple week, which is good. I think. It doesn't mean Cleary's going to get 150 again, but I think he's pretty likely. I'll say that. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to change up my trades. I think the trades are pretty much locked in. I love bringing in Brown. Obviously, he is probably going to lose a bit more cash. Cody Walker, I could have gone Cody Walker instead and saved money, but I don't know. I guess the one thing is that, okay, Cody Walker is cheaper. You bring in Cody Walker this week. He's also going to make more money, so there's the double effect. Walker for the short term, and then I guess depending how much money you can make, you could try to swing Katoa up to Dylan Brown. So you run with a Cody Walker and Dylan Brown combo, who are both playing most of the buys, I think. So I guess that's a potential option, but... Because I guess who am I looking to bring in with the money? Because I'm going to want to downgrade Warbrick, Khan Pereira, Otukamanu probably as well. Jackson Ford, potentially. So who am I looking to bring in? Obviously, probably another second row keeper. Outside backs are really good. I do want to bring in Garrick at some point. But I guess another... I don't know. Do I go Cody Walker? They're taking on the Dolphins, which is a good matchup as well. I got no Rabbitohs plays. That's what kills me a little bit. I don't know. I think that's not a bad option, but I don't know. I can just feel some big scores coming from Dylan Brown, and he could go big, and then all of a sudden his price skyrockets and you just can't get him in easily. So yeah, I mean, he just go 105 against Sharks, 88 against Manly, two of the better teams. And even like his floor. Obviously, first game of the season, 32. You take out the first round, obviously. 47 against Panthers, the best defensive team in the comp. That's great. So, yeah, I think I'm just happy with this. I don't want to get too fancy with it. I would like Cody Walker. Maybe if Cody Walker doesn't kill it and he doesn't absolutely skyrocket, we could in a few weeks try to swing Katoa to Cody Walker for the buys. Maybe that's the option. Bit safer. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the Supercoach action. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.